Hey, hi, hello, welcome back for another video. All right, today's topic is less perfection, more progress. I need this video. Maybe you do too. So the inspiration for today's topic was Atomic Habits, the book by James Clear. Specifically, something in chapter 11 spoke out to me. So as I was reading this book, which it's a great book, by the way, I do recommend this if you are looking to improve yourself and your life and your, habits in some way. I would definitely recommend reading Atomic Habits. No, it's not sponsored. I'm just trying to give the girlies the resources. Let me just read parts of this book to you because it's so good and he says it the best. One of the quotes I really loved was, "We are so focused on figuring out the best approach that we never get around to taking action." This is so true. I'm guilty of this. You might be too. It's okay. We're working on it, right? He also says later, "I refer to this as the difference between being in motion and taking action. The two ideas sound similar, but they're not the same. When you're in motion, you're planning and strategizing and learning. Those are all good things, but they don't produce a result. Action, on the other hand, is the type of behavior that will deliver an outcome. If I outline 20 ideas for articles I want to write, that's motion. If I actually sit down and write an article, that's action." Then he goes on to say, "Sometimes motion is useful, but it will never produce an outcome by itself. It doesn't matter how many times you go talk to the personal trainer. That motion will never get you in shape. Only the action of working out will get you the result you're looking to achieve." So I don't know if you have done this, but I definitely have. My personal example is I wanted to start a YouTube channel for years, and I just didn't. I found some excuse to keep me stuck, to keep me from doing the thing that I wanted to do, which was YouTube, which I'm now doing, so happy to. And I'm so glad that I finally kicked my limiting beliefs to the curb and started it. I would get stuck in motion instead of actually acting on anything. So what would happen is I would research, like he says in the book. I would research, I would try to learn all the skills. I would learn about the best cameras, the best mics, how to film on your phone, how to film on this camera, how to film on that brand of camera, like just so much information that I did not need to be bogging my brain down with, but it felt like I was doing something, which is more than sitting there being frustrated that I hadn't started yet, which is how I felt unless I was looking up and researching things about YouTube and starting a channel. So the being stuck in this motion trap kept me from feeling the frustration of not progressing. And part of the reason that I wasn't taking action is because I'm a perfectionist. And when you want everything to be perfect, you end up psyching yourself out and talking yourself out of it because you don't know enough yet, or you're not an expert, and who would listen to me? And it's time to shut up the inner critic. It is. That's what I'm still working on it, okay? I'm not saying this to you as in, oh yeah, I've already done all this, like get with it. No. I'm right there with you. I'm doing this too. So he says this in the next paragraph. "If motion doesn't lead to results, why do we do it? Sometimes we do it because we actually need to plan or learn more. But more often than not, we do it because motion allows us to feel like we're making progress without running the risk of failure." Let that sink in. Most of us are experts at avoiding criticism. It doesn't feel good to fail or be judged publicly, so we tend to avoid situations where that might happen. And that's the biggest reason why you slip into motion rather than taking action. You want to delay failure. Now, that's definitely part of the reason that I was procrastinating. And wanting to learn more about whatever craft it is that you want to get into is totally fine. That's good. Like, you want to be knowledgeable on something. However, we run into a problem when the research that we're doing to prepare has actually become a mode of procrastination. So if you are using, oh, I'm learning this new skill, but you keep learning new skills for years and years and you never actually start, you have unknowingly turned that into a form of procrastination. And I definitely have done this as well. But I'm here to tell you that being perfect, it's not going to happen. It's not. And this is something that I am telling myself every day. It is way better to just start. Just do the thing, and you will learn so much more from experience than you would reading 10 more books on it or watching 10 more YouTube videos on how to do this. You'll figure out how to do it when you start doing it. Okay? And that is exactly how I have felt with this channel. I watched so many videos about how to be a YouTuber, how to do this full time. Like, you gotta go. You just have to do it. And your first videos are not going to be good. Like, okay, they might be good. They're not going to be perfect. But whose are? You might have your favorite YouTubers whose videos or editing styles or personalities that you really admire and you aspire to be like them, but they're not perfect either. Sometimes you have a typo. You've misspelled something. You didn't catch it and you posted it anyway. It's better to leave the mistake up there than to take the whole video down and not only just stay stuck in a cycle and keep yourself from progressing, but to actually do something and take action and then delete it. Take that video down, remove the blog post just because you made a tiny mistake. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to the people who can gain something, can gain knowledge, understanding, wisdom, comfort from your videos or your post. Don't do that to them, and don't do it to yourself, okay? It's better to just realize the mistake, accept it, learn for the next time. That's what I'm doing. The videos that I make now, I will probably one day look back on and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this, that, and the third. But at least I started. At least I tried. And that's how I feel right now, is I'm glad I'm just doing it. And I want you to have that same feeling of satisfaction where you know that it's not perfect, but at least you're progressing. That is something to be proud of. So if you are at a point where you're like, you know what, Jaden, this sounds like me. This sounds like something that I'm doing is letting this motion turn into procrastination. That's okay. Self-awareness is the first step. At least you realized it. That's good. Now, what you can do is start to transition from learning to doing, because at some point you have to start or you're going to be missing out. So once you transition from learning to doing, you're going to notice little things that maybe frustrate you or little mistakes that you made, but that's okay. Keep going anyway. And sometimes being a perfectionist can serve you in some situations. Not all, but sometimes. Like, you probably have a really good eye for detail. That is going to be such a benefit to you if you are doing detailed work. But sometimes when we hyper focus on things, we need to take a step back and ask yourself, is what I'm focusing on now that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things? You're focused on something so small, but if you zoom out and get a different perspective, how much does the thing that you're worrying about actually matter? Who's going to remember this a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now? Probably no one. Probably not even you. So let it go. Let it go. And this isn't going to be something that you can tell yourself one time and then, oh, that's it. I'm a recovered perfectionist. No, that's probably not the case. This will probably be an ongoing battle, but that's okay. keep fighting it, because there is so much beauty on the other side of your made up barriers. And that's what I'm starting to realize now is, like I said, I wanted to start a YouTube channel since 2020. And then I made the channel, I think in 2021, and I didn't post anything. Then I started posting shorts, but I wasn't consistent. And I'm just now in 2024 at a point where I'm making like long form content, and that's okay. It may have taken me longer than I would have liked, but at least I started. At least I kept going. And I want the same for you. So part of the reason I didn't start the channel for so long was because I got stuck in the cycle of motion where I would just research. And then that led to what we call analysis paralysis. And it's like I would just get down in a rabbit hole and I would research the heck out of something. Like, girl, you didn't need to know all that. You could have started already. You're just procrastinating. And was, but no more. I'm not doing that anymore. You're not going to do that anymore. We're moving up and onward, past our limiting beliefs. And you might encounter this where it's like our brain is just trying to keep us safe, really. But chances are you are safe. You're just not comfortable. And there's a difference. You can be safe, but not comfortable. And that uncomfortable feeling will keep you from moving forward when you should. You have the green light. Let's go. You're safe. Everything's fine. But your mind makes you feel like you're not sometimes. And we get into like a fight or flight or freeze kind of state. And we just don't do anything. And don't beat yourself up for this. Just become aware of it and try to push through it anyway. Because something that I've noticed for myself is that as soon as you reach one roadblock and you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm scared, I don't think I can do it. And you like go right up to it and then you back away. And then you work your way back up to it again. And then you finally break through it. And it's like, yes, I did it. So it sets it back a few more feet. Now there's a new thing to worry about. Now there's something else for you to feel like, oh, I can't do that. And then what happens? You break through that one too. You may stay stuck a little bit, but you will break through it. And so once you do, it's like, there's the next roadblock that you've broken through. It pushes back another few feet. It's like our brain creates these roadblocks to keep us safe, but we have to shift our perspective and rewire our thinking about these things instead of something coming up and be like, oh, I guess I just shouldn't do it. It's not working out. You're gonna face challenges and it might be a little difficult or it might be a little scary and there might be setbacks, but don't let it stop you, because the more roadblocks you push through, the more confidence you're going to gain in yourself. And you're going to realize that these are not roadblocks, they're just speed bumps. You may have to slow down a little bit, but that's okay, as long as you don't stop. Because if you stop, like say your roadblock is here, if you stop, you've just killed all the momentum that you had, because you're going, and then you stopped. So, whoop, too much, can't do it. Yes, you can. Don't stop. You can slow down, and then you're gonna go right on past it. You're gonna go above and beyond. It's not a roadblock. It's just a speed bump. So you can slow down if you need to. Take the time that you need to possibly actually learn a new skill. Maybe you do need to learn something else. But once you do, apply that knowledge. Because having a bunch of just random information sitting in your brain does you no good. But once you apply it, you will gain so much experience and so much more knowledge from actually doing the thing than reading about it or watching a tutorial about it. So remember that they're not roadblocks, they're just speed bumps. You can slow down, but don't stop, because you will just ruin all the momentum that you had that was putting wind in your sails right up until you got to that block. It's not a block. We're not blocked. What we desire desires us. We are meant for it. we just have to keep going. It's like with running. I remember in track, which I did not like, I did pom and basketball. But in the 2 weeks that I was in track, I remember one of my coaches saying, don't stop because you're gonna ruin your momentum. You can slow down if you need to, if you're getting a little tired, but don't stop. Because it's harder to stop and then get started again than it is to be going, slow down, and then pick up the pace again. It's okay to slow down, just don't stop. Okay, I hope that you learned something from this video today, and I hope that you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. And if you would just give this video a like, maybe comment down below, and share this with somebody who you think needs it. And please subscribe and join the Classy Clique, because we are classy, not trashy, and we are giving a new meaning to the word clique. It's no longer for the mean girls, it's for the motivational girls, you and me. Let's grow up and glow up together. Thank you again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.